Go there and check her out because she's awesome. She is a patriot, just as we are. Nearest I can tell, she doesn't see anything any different than we do. And I'm going to get Frank to turn that down about 3 dB. And then that will sound good. So we're going to get all of these things going, and welcome to the show. If you're on Facebook, please, I need you to like and I need you to share. Like and share on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching it on Podbean, I want to thank our good friend Kenny for paying for the entire year of the Podbean iPod account. So anyway, all good stuff. And glad to have you on the show. Now, the question was asked, where is the Houston rally? Well, the Houston rally has not been scheduled yet, and I've kind of been waiting for some of the other people to take the lead in that, and nobody is taking the lead. So we're planning on having a rally on Monday here in Houston, and I want to know how many people are going to show up for that rally. Because if I can get enough of you to say, yeah, I'll be there, then we'll have the rally. It's very expensive to do a rally. We're going to do it probably at Eleanor Tinsley Park, but I'm going to load up the whole PA. I'm going to load up the generator. We're going to go down there. And because if we do a rally, we do it correctly. We're going to have good sound. None of this megaphone stuff. We're going to have real sound system where people can actually hear. And it's expensive and time consuming, but we're going to do it. And the plan is to do that on Monday at 11 o'clock in Eleanor Tinsley Park, because we're fed up with the edict that our 28-year-old female county judge, who is the only time she's ever lived in the United States is when she was going to school. That would be high school and college. And after that, she left and went to Southeast Asia to work as a Communist Party organizer, and she came back just in time to run for the Democrat position as county judge the very last year that we had straight ticket voting here in Harris County. And they took advantage of it and swept it. Right now, there is not an elected Republican in Harris County. It's completely Democrat. I'm hoping to turn that around because in this next election, there is no more straight ticket voting. And this is why I am encouraging all of you, something I've never asked you to do before, but to go from top to bottom and vote Republican. Perhaps not in the general land office position, because that would be little Georgie Peepee, and he needs to get his peepee whacked. So I'd recommend you vote for the Libertarian in that race, but quite frankly, even the Democrat in that race would be better than what we have. So just I'm laying that out there for you. But you got to vote all the way to the bottom. Every judge, and you're going to say, well, I don't know any of these judges. And that's probably true. But there's not a single Republican judge running that will be worse than the Democrat judge that we already have. And then later on, we can go back and replace some of those Republican judges with better ones. So those are the big deal. And Saturday, we're going to be at the Alamo at 3 o'clock. Saturday afternoon at the Alamo, 3 o'clock. That will be April the 25th of 2020, because I don't know when you're listening to this. April the 25th, 2020 at 3 o'clock at the Alamo in Alamo Plaza in San Antonio. Big rally there, being sponsored by This is Texas Freedom Force and Open Carry Texas. And I, of course, will be one of the speakers at that rally, and I'm looking forward to seeing your smiling, happy face there. Now, at that particular rally, we will be wearing masks. I know, I hate it, but I got a special mask just for the occasion, and you're going to want to see that. So, and we'll also be handing out personal protective gear, and we're going to have a raffle for some toilet paper. Yeah, let me get this. Let me grab this for you. You're going to love this. I have it right here. Yeah, we're going to be raffling off some toilet paper, and I got this Hillary toilet paper right there that you can see on the TV. We're going to be raffling off this roll of toilet paper. And, of course, it's made where? Yes! It's crappy toilet paper. It really is. But it's got Hillary on there, and so, you're going to, with the shortage that we're having of toilet paper, you're going to want this roll. Raffle tickets are going to be $1 a piece. All proceeds are going to go to This Is Texas Freedom Force. So that's the goal. That's what we're going to do. And we've got 2 rolls of John Wayne toilet paper. So I want you to be there for that. Does everyone, let me look in the chat room. Does everyone in the chat room know the story of John Wayne toilet paper? Because if you don't, I'll tell it. But if you already know it, I'm not gonna go over it again. So I'm checking the chat room now. I hadn't got chat room open yet. I'm a little behind the times here. And once again, this is a call-in show. If you have the backline number, I'm not going to give it out, but if you have the backline number, then you're my friend and you can call in on the show. In which case, we'd love to hear from you. But we do have a lot of stuff we're going to talk about here. I'm still doing housekeeping, guys. Sorry for that delay. And let me get that moved up there. There, I just pinned the show to the top of the page, at right side of the mic. Make it easy for you to find. You don't have to scroll down so far that way. And let's see who we got in there. I'm always interested to see who's first to class. Robert, looks like Robert Litton. Yep, Robert, you're number 1. Julie Stearns, my 3rd favorite redhead with the Texas Nationalist Movement. Glad to have you. And Glenn Schmuck Jr., glad to have you as well. Black Smoke Matters. Listen, all my truck driving buddies out there, Robert Litton and Glenn Schmuck are both truck drivers. We appreciate you guys. And Glenn said, I'm not sure I'd want Hillary that close to my ass. So anyway, Black Smoke Matters, guys. And then we got hashtag Mayday 2020, Diesel Alley Motor Cult. Oh, you'll have to give me some more information on that, Glenn. I'd be interested in knowing. So, Julie Stearns, my 3rd favorite redhead over there in New Braunfels, Texas. I rarely ever get to see Julie anymore, but I know she's still out there, and it's always nice to see her on the show every time she gets in there. If you want to know how to get in the chat room, you go to Right Side of the Mic. Right Side of the Mic page on Facebook. You can get in the chat room, and then we get to hear what you got to say, because we care about that. So, all right, that being said, here is a story some of you are going to be a little bit surprised about, but I think it's a big deal, and that's why I'm going to read about it. The court has upheld the right of an armed citizen to shoot a police officer in self-defense. Back in August of 2015, John DeRosette, age 55, shot and severely wounded a sheriff's deputy. Now, the agent was part of a sting operation, and they were attempting to arrest DeRosette's niece, Mary, for prostitution. So they had set up a sting at a motel that they thought she would work at. They had a complete controlled environment. They had blocked off all the streets. They knew they had complete control. But after all the time and trouble that they went to, Miss Mary didn't show up. Miss Mary, the prostitute, she didn't show up. Well, they were mad as hell because they had gone to a lot of trouble to set up this sting, and then the prostitute doesn't show. So, at that point, 3 plainclothes deputies went to her home on Covina Street, where Agent Peter Stead grabbed Miss Mary from the doorway while John Casey Smith and Jason Roberts were hiding in the darkened yard to back him up. During their testimony at the hearing, the deputies said it was unusual to go to a suspect's home for a sting operation when they had already set up a controlled environment to make sure it didn't go awry. Well, when they grabbed Miss Mary, the prostitute, alleged prostitute, because at this point she had not been to court, so we'll assume she was an alleged prostitute, and she began screaming because some guy's grabbing her. He's wearing plain clothes. She's got no idea who they are. And so she begins screaming, and her uncle, who is in the back room having dinner, hears her screams. So he grabs his weapon. He's a concealed permit holder. He has no criminal record. He grabs his weapon. He runs to the front. He sees somebody kidnapping his daughter, and he does what you would expect him to do. He shoots the perpetrator. Now, the cops said, we announced that we were police, but they didn't have any cams on. And there's strong evidence that Mr. de Rosette did not know that the men that were kidnapping his niece were law enforcement. None of them were in uniform. And his statements collected immediately after the event at the hospital were all consistent with his belief that these unknown men were trying to kidnap his niece. He knew his niece had some problems with drugs and that she had apparently worked as a prostitute. So he just assumed that these were probably gangbangers trying to kidnap her and force her into prostitution. So John de Rosette, who is now 65, worked at General Motors his whole life, owned this home, and his adult niece, Miss Mary, lived with him in that home. He had no criminal record. He worked part-time as a security guard at Port Canaveral, and he was carrying a lawfully possessed concealed firearm. He had taken the firearms training course as required. So, 9:30 p.m., Miss Mary Ellis answers a knock at the front door. She opened the door. A man jumps inside, grabs her, and starts pulling her out of the house. She struggles. She doesn't know who the guy is. She screams. Her uncle comes running out. He shoots the kidnapper. At this point, the other two men jump up, and they go up and try to help the guy that's trying to kidnap his daughter, his niece, off the porch. The first shot de Rosette fired was a warning shot into the air. That was dumb. Ammunition is very expensive. You should never waste a round. So then they didn't let go of her. They hadn't identified themselves, and a firefight ensues. One deputy, John Casey Smith, was severely wounded. More than 40 shots were fired. Both John de Rosette and his young niece were shot. Sorry, I'm touching my face. I know it. I need to get one of them dog collars, right? You're not supposed to touch your face. I don't. Somebody said, I'll read that to you later. The homeowner, Mr. de Rosette, was charged with 3 counts of attempted murder of a police officer. The deputies had no warrant. There was no warrant for arrest of Mary Ellis. Now, criminals often claim to be police in order to get compliance. These deputies, however, never told de Rosette they were cops. So why would he be under any obligation to believe them unless they presented some sort of credentials or convincing proof that they were operating as law enforcement officers? See, they're wearing plain clothes, not even wearing uniforms. But we know of instances where thugs have stolen police uniforms from the dry cleaners and then wore them. Even that wouldn't be enough for me, especially if no warrant is presented. So anyway, it goes to trial. Takes 3 years to get it to trial. His lawyer presented the defense that he was protected by the stand your ground law in Florida. We also have that here in Texas. You may have that in your state. And a local court found against him, saying that he should have known that he was shooting at law enforcement officers, even though there's no indication that they declared they were officers, and even though they were wearing plain clothes, and even though it's 9:30 at night and dark, and his niece is screaming, and it looks like she's being kidnapped. So they sent him to prison. He's been in prison for 5 years now for attempted murder of a police officer. Finally, this makes it to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in 2019. Well, the appeals court looked at it, and they found that the local court had incorrectly determined that de Rosette should have known the men attacking his niece and him were police officers. The Fifth Circuit Court sent the case back to the local court to determine if a different exception to stand your ground would apply, because the stand your ground law would not apply if he was furthering criminal activities when the action took place. But see, his niece was not operating as a prostitute out of his house. His niece was not selling drugs out of his house. His niece was respecting her uncle's house. That's why she would usually work as a prostitute at the motel so as not to damage her uncle. The local court found against him. This time the court claimed the stand your ground law did not apply because he knew his niece had used her bedroom to conduct prostitution. Well, that didn't stand up. He appealed to the Fifth Circuit again. He stayed in jail until March. That is last month. And then they finally, for the first time after 5 years, they let him post bond. Now they're treating this guy this way because he shot police officers. But on the other hand, these police officers were in plain clothes. It was 9:30 at night, and they were attempting to kidnap his niece. What would you have done, you guys in the chat room? What would you have done? So anyway, uh, 5 years in prison. They finally let him bond out. On April the 15th, and today is April the 22nd. I'm sorry I'm slow getting this story to you, but I have a lot of stories every day. Try to pick the best ones. They ruled that the mere knowledge that his niece may have conducted an illegal act is not furthering criminal activities. The mere knowledge that his niece may have worked as a prostitute in his house was not enough to be considered to be furthering criminal activities. They couldn't prove that he told his niece, "No, see those guys here, I'll protect you." So they said, citing the stand your ground law, the 5th District Circuit Court of Appeals dismissed the charges against this man for shooting a county sheriff's deputy during a botched arrest at his home in 2015. But he still spent 5 years in prison, 5 years of his life gone for trying to defend his niece from kidnapping. So, in Houston, police officers have been charged with felony murder in the death of an innocent couple. You know, I covered that story here, and I said the day that it happened, my father-in-law and my wife are all watching the TV reports, which are continuous without end, and this is the way it was portrayed in the initial story. This man and wife were selling black tar heroin and conducting gangbang activities out of their home, and they had multiple automatic weapons. And they shot the police when the police tried to get into the home to execute a search warrant. That was what the news media said. On the other hand, what really happened? Well, what really happened was some bad cops tried to plant evidence, did not have a warrant. 5 cops burst into this couple's home. They shot the Air Force veteran, killed him, shot his wife, killed her, shot their dog, killed him, and then they shot each other. Because just like that other incident where they fired 40 rounds, just like that other incident, they fired a bunch of rounds in this house and they ended up shooting each other. Now, to this day, except for those of you that listen to this show, you don't know that story, do you? You might know pieces of it, but no news media as of yet, as far as major media goes, has reported the fact that it was friendly fire. That upon further examination, they found that the couple, the Tuttles, didn't have, well, the only weapons they had is they had 2 rifles and a shotgun, neither of which were discharged. None of which were discharged. The original story was how Mr. Tuttle had taken his semi-automatic weapon and shot a couple of cops, and the cops shot him, and then the wife tried to get the semi-automatic weapon and shoot the cops, and then that's when they killed her. All complete lies and fabrications supported by our police chief, Art Acevedo. Remember that the accent is on ass. And the willing accomplices in the news media, ABC, NBC, CBS, KHOU. They're willing accomplices. And then they said, well, they had drugs. Yeah, they had enough marijuana in that house to supply 2 people for about 30 days. That was the extent of the drugs they had in that house. But Mr. Tuttle was a disabled veteran. He could scarcely walk. He was in a lot of constant and considerable pain, and he was using marijuana instead of taking other harsher drugs. So, there you have it. So getting back to this, so knowing that this has happened, why would we not suspect something? Mistakes happen, errors occur, but why, with the evidence, which was plain from the start that John De Rosette, who was locked up for nearly 5 years, was a retired homeowner with no criminal record, why would they arrest this guy and give him, he's been sentenced to numerous years in prison. He got out after 5. The agents of the government are not supposed to be our masters. They're supposed to be our servants. This goes along with the Indiana law. They have a law in Indiana that says the same thing. If a police officer is committing a crime and you defend yourself, you will not be charged. This is why the stand your ground laws are needed. Warrants are not only to protect the accused, they're also there to protect the police. And if the officer had a warrant, had knocked on the door and said, excuse me, ma'am, but we have a warrant for your arrest, she might have tried to run. But at that point, guess what? Uncle John knows that it's the cops, and they're there to arrest his niece, and he knows that she has been engaged in some nefarious activity in the past. Dean Weingarten wrote that article. He is a former peace officer. He's also an officer in the Army, and he's a firearm instructor. And that comes from AmmoLand. I'm really glad that we got that story. Glenn agrees with me. He said, yep, too damned expensive. No warning shots. So, all of that being said, Glenn's leaving me, man. Thank you for sharing. I do appreciate it. Glenn said, I got to get back to Pennsylvania and Harrisburg. I will stand up everywhere that I can. Dangerous freedom over safe slavery for me. Doc Green Show. Are you calling to be on the air? Oh, yes. Can I call you back at this number, Dana? Thank you. I will as soon as I get a break here. Thanks. All right. So anyway, sorry about that, guys. Never know who's calling around here. Brandon said the Center for Disease Control is forcing people to turn to marijuana because of their crackdown on illegal pain prescription medications. Yes. Well, now somebody that's in serious pain, he has a really difficult time getting some of these meds. But there's no question, because of the opiate epidemic we have, it's an issue. So, all right, we're going to have the rally on Monday. My buddy Danny Ferris, he just said that I just talked to the news media. They're going to be there to cover it. So the rally is on Monday. We're going to have it at Eleanor Tinsley Park. I'm looking forward to all of you being down there, and it's going to happen. Now, can I get all of you guys to be down there? That's the question. I've had a number of people on Facebook said they're going to be there, and I'm hoping that all of you guys are going to be there too. So let's get on to other news. I should take a commercial break at this point, but I don't want to lose you guys. Y'all look pretty excited out there to me. The number of cases. First of all, I want to give you this little bit of information. Here in Harris County, the metro area of Harris County, we have 3 out of every 100,000 persons has either been diagnosed or misdiagnosed with the disease. That doesn't mean they're actually sick, just means they showed some evidence of the virus. So if you meet today, if you're in Harris County and today you meet 100,000 people, the odds are that 3 of those people may have been diagnosed or misdiagnosed with the virus. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are more likely to meet a mass murderer. There are more mass murderers in Harris County than there are people with this virus, especially since our county judge let a bunch of people out of the jail before another judge stepped in and said, whoa, put the brakes on this program. But do you see my point? 3 out of 100,000. We shut down the entire world for 3 out of 100,000? All right, what do we have nationwide? All right, you guys ready? We're going to get you that number right now. Nationwide, we have 776,000 cases of people that have been either diagnosed or misdiagnosed with the virus. And the number is, oh my God, it's out of control now. Drum roll, please. We have 0.023% of Americans. 0.023. 0.02. Once again, I've told you before, if it's less than 10%, who cares? It's not an issue. If you have an election and somebody gets 10% of the vote, do we care? No. 0.02%. 0.02% of Americans have been either diagnosed or misdiagnosed with the virus. How many Americans have died? Well, I said that about 20,000 Americans were going to die total. I was wrong. It's a much higher number. Much higher number. It's 41,758 so far that have died of this virus. This thing could get over 50,000. So based on the number of 41,000 deaths here in America, divided by the population of America, which is 330 million. Are you ready for this? 0.0001% of Americans have died from this virus. 0.0001% of Americans have died of this virus. So that is 1/100,000th of a percentage of the population have died from this virus. And where are most of them? New York and Washington State. That's where the bulk of these cases were. And the ones that have died, most of them were over 65 years old, and large numbers of them were in retirement or nursing homes. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is still a big nothing. It's a big nothing. They got a lot of cases in Colorado, a lot of cases in California, a lot of cases in Washington. They've got a lot of cases in Texas. Of course, Texas is a huge state. And the bulk of these states, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, the bulk of these states that have this problem, New York, are led by what? Leftists. Here in Texas, our allegedly Republican governor, Greg Abbott, is a leftist. He is a globalist. He doesn't care if we tear down the Alamo. Doesn't matter to him. He just wants to make sure he gets his share of the cash. This is what we're dealing with here, is a bunch of leftist-run states. And Texas, if we had complete control of our border, we wouldn't have anywhere near that number of cases. But we don't. But those are the real numbers. And once again, nobody's going to give you those numbers except for right here on the right side of the mic for the most part. Deaths in Minnesota attributed to the virus rose to 160 yesterday, and they had 18 more people that died. And turns out one of those was an error. It wasn't actually from COVID-19. It was from a bad car wreck, but they thought that he might have potentially gotten close to somebody with COVID-19, so they counted it as COVID-19. Here in Houston, our 28-year-old county judge, who had never had a real job before she became in charge of Harris County, managing a multi-billion-dollar budget. She spent $660 million. Did I get the number right? No, $66 million. Spent $66 million on building this tent hospital. And they had big fanfare. They had a huge walkthrough so everybody could see how cool this makeshift hospital was. And it was very cool, I might add. It was nice. They did a great job. But they've never seen a patient there since they built this thing. $66 million up in smoke, just gone. And now they're getting ready to tear it down because they realize that this virus is going away now. Almost nobody has it. And so consequently, it's just going away. But that's why our county judge issued the edict that you have to wear a mask here in Harris County. Well, as you know, that is just a bunch of crap. But we're going to have the big rally on Monday. How many of you guys are going to be there? That's what I want to know. How many of you are going to be there? Let me answer Charisma here. While I'm doing that. Sorry about this. I'm almost there. I do want to thank Black Smoke Matters for everything that they're doing out there. The plight of the truckers is very serious. And once again, our big rally in San Antonio on Saturday at 3 o'clock. The roster of speakers is impressive. So you're going to want to be there for that. We're asking you to be there for that. We're asking you to join us for that. Hey, there's Daniel Miller with the Texas Nationalist Movement. Daniel Miller also wrote an excellent book, by the way, called Texit, Texit. You can get that on Amazon. I think it's on sale for like $19 or something like that on Amazon. So I'd strongly urge you to go to Amazon and get that. And he also wrote another book prior to that, Line in the Sand, a great book as well. But Texit is the definitive book right now that you should have, and it should be a regular desk reference for you. So get that book, Texit. It's from Defiance Press, and you can buy it on Amazon.com. So we want to have everybody get your copy of that. So the Biden campaign. Now, Joe Biden is not going to be the nominee. I think you guys all know that. But they've been trying to bribe the Bernie bros into supporting Joe Biden, thereby allowing him to keep his delegates. Behind-the-scenes negotiations have been going on between Biden and Sanders to allow the Vermont communists to keep his delegates as a gesture of goodwill. It's not yet settled how many Sanders would be able to keep. But they feel strongly it's in the best interest of the Democratic Party to ensure that Sanders receives statewide delegates to reflect the work that they have done to contribute to the movement of destroying the greatest president in history, which would be Donald John Trump. Ain't that some crap? Now, on the good news section, William Barr, our Attorney General, is now threatening legal action on governors who are excessive in their lockdowns. Governors that impose unconstitutional rules to deal with the coronavirus pandemic can expect to face legal action, said William Barr. He said he was on Hugh Hewitt, and he urged the states to enact targeted measures, citing Donald Trump's guidelines. He said, we have to give businesses more freedom to operate in a way that's reasonably safe. And to that extent, the governors don't and can't impinge on either civil rights or the Constitution or on our national commerce. Right now, the cure is definitely worse than the disease. Here in Harris County, tens of thousands of lives have been utterly destroyed by this disease. Men, young men that had good businesses, solid businesses, that are just getting started, getting off the ground, starting to build a clientele. And then we just shut them down. We say, that's it. Oh, but you know what our governor did? Yeah, Governor Limp Spine. I was going to call him Limp something else, but our limping governor, yeah, he came out and said, well, look, I know a lot of you guys lost your business and everything, but there are lots of jobs out there. You can go get yourself a job now. Is there anybody who just wants to slap that guy besides me? I don't mean to actually slap him. I mean, like an air slap from a distance, because I would never want any violence toward our governor. You guys, if you watch the opening of the show on TV, you know that there's a great photo of me with the governor right there. So, you know how much I love the governor. I would urge you to go back into the archives and listen to the show. Greg Abbott is a Democrat, changed my mind. It's pretty good. So Brandon said, I just learned about William Barr's actions during Ruby Ridge, and I'm aware of those. I think William Barr might be a different person than he used to be. So I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to find out. So, yeah, at least we can get a haircut, said Robert Litton. Okay, guys, on that note, I've got to hit a break. We're going to be right back, and I've got a great story from you for Peter Ellers, and you're going to love it. You'll find it terrifically amusing. So stick around, right side of the mic. Remember, rally in San Antonio on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Rally in Houston on Monday at noon in Eleanor Tinsley Park. 11 o'clock, Eleanor Tinsley Park. Be right back. Sorry for the dead air. I'm not hearing the commercials. Attention, Command Central. Might have to pull up that ad sooner than I had planned. Oh, by the way, tomorrow on the show, Diana Palace is going to be here in the 1 o'clock hour. That will be terrific fun. Also, tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be doing a Zoom meeting with the governor at 3 o'clock. That will be fun. Looking forward to that. Just got a message here from Global Armored Vehicles. The world economy is suffering due to the fake pandemic. And they've got an updated version of the report that I can get for a mere $1,350. So I'm interested in armored vehicles because I think that's the wave of the future. So we're going to see what happens there. Now, here's what I love. Finally, Donald Trump has ordered the United States Navy to shoot down and destroy any Iranian gunboats if they harass U.S. ships. This is about damn time. The announcements came after another encounter between Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard and U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf. So Donald Trump said, I've instructed the United States Navy to shoot down and destroy any and all Iranian gunboats if they choose to harass our ships at sea. Reports from last week said Iranian fast boats were coming in very close proximity to the U.S. warships as they drilled near Kuwait. And I've watched the video, and I'm sitting there saying, what the hell? If I was commander of that vessel, I'd have already lost my command because I'd have sank them. I'd have put them under. Reuters reported that an altercation involved 11 vessels from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The video released by the Navy shows the boats nearing U.S. vessels as one pointing a deck-mounted machine gun toward American ships that they did not fire. That would have been it for me. That guy would have been on the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, he'd have got to meet his 72 virgins. The Iran's Revolutionary Guard argued the close encounter was caused because of the unprofessional and provocative actions of the United States Navy and their indifference to the warnings that Iran had given them. The Revolutionary Guard, of course, failed to have any evidence that supported their claim. They also alleged that U.S. vessels blocked Iranian warships earlier in the month. I kind of doubt it. Yet, Dianne Not-So-Feinstein is holding up relief for American businesses right now because she wants to send $5 billion with a B, $5 billion to Iran to help them with the virus. You think if they got that money, they would do anything about the virus? No, they would use it to put it into their atomic weapons program. So Dianne Not-So-Feinstein, don't forget, she is the one that had a Chinese spy on her staff for 20 years. Over the weekend, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif attacked Donald Trump. He said, all you need to do is stop interfering in the affairs of other nations. I want to remind you that when Thomas Jefferson had to create the United States Marine Corps and put leather collars on their shirts for self-defense purposes, we were not involved in any Iranian nation or any Islamic nations. We weren't. But the Islamic countries were acting upon the Quran, and they said that anyone who is not as good a Muslim as you are is subject to be raped, beaten, robbed, because that is their divine right as a Muslim to do these things. We have had problems with these Muslims going all the way back to 1779. We used to give them 20% of our gross national product in protection money. But you know how it is when you pay a bully your lunch money, that's only good for a little while. After a while, he's going to want more. Well, it's no different with Iran. So he said, we do not take advice from any American politician. Trump's ordered to strike Iran's elite Quds force and took out General Qasem Soleimani, Casey Kasem there, earlier this year was defended by the United Kingdom, saying the United States is absolutely entitled to defend itself. Well, I love it. So Donald Trump told them, don't put up with that crap. They come over there and start giving you a rasher of crap, you put them on the bottom of the ocean. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if that doesn't make your heart glad, I don't know what does. So don't watch any Robert De Niro movies. That's all I'm going to say about that particular. And then Paul McCartney, he had a concert. Yeah, he had a big concert. Some of you guys might know him. He used to be with his little band named after the Bugs or something. Anyway, Paul McCartney had a big concert. He's not with the Bugs anymore. Look, I don't mean to demean him. The guy wrote a lot of great songs. He changed American music forever. There's commercials. Or apparently we're coming back from commercial. All right, well, you guys didn't get a commercial. How about that? Anyway, so he has a concert. And it was at New York City's Grand Central Station. A commuter has posted a photo showing that they had armed soldiers with machine guns protecting him. Walking through the warm vanilla hallway of Grand Central Station, I tried to enter a barricade when an army sergeant wearing uniform and helmet with a machine gun said it was the wrong entrance, said this is for the artist only. You have to go down, take a left, and stay close to the wall. But Paul McCartney's an anti-gunner. Wouldn't he have ordered these guys to be unarmed? I would think so. As an anti-gunner, I think he would have said, that's it, you guys can't carry any weapons here. Here, y'all have some daisies, and if anybody comes by, you give them a flower. But Paul McCartney said, one of my best friends was killed in gun violence right around here, so it's important to me. And as he attended the alleged March for Our Lives in New York, where his bandmate John Lennon was fatally shot 35 years ago, by a wacko crazy guy, I might dare add. I probably shouldn't have added that. Oh, there's a nice picture of Paul McCartney playing a left-handed Les Paul. I didn't even know he played guitar. I thought he primarily played bass. So kind of like me, started on bass, ended up on guitar. Anyway, he marched to New York to remember John Lennon, who was killed by a crook. Perhaps if John Lennon had been armed, he might have been able to defend himself and he wouldn't be dead. Maybe just the crook would be dead. So, a few years back, McCartney recalled how terrified he was to see soldiers with machine guns in the months following Lennon's murder. He said it was weird because in the days that followed, I'm sitting in the house. We had a little perimeter fence, mainly to keep the foxes out because we had some chickens. He said, I'm aware of security threats. I'm on high alert, and I look out, and I see someone with an effing gun, like a machine gun, an assault rifle, wearing full military gear. And then I see there's a whole patrol of them, and I say, holy crap, what's going on? That 73-year-old musician admitted he had jumped to conclusions and simply stumbled across a military training regimen. He said, I don't know what I did. I think I rang the police, and it turned out to be Army maneuvers. And they said, oh, sorry, are these your woods? I'd put 2 and 2 together and made 1,000. God, I don't know how I lived through it. You'd think you'd just faint dead on the ground. But there they were, a bunch of Army guys coming through the woods. So anyway, Paul McCartney did this to promote his new album because he is not rich enough. So, got that going for you. Bill Clinton. Remember Bill Clinton, Mr. Blue Dress himself? Mr. I had sex with over 2,000 women before I was 30? Yeah, that guy. He signed an order blocking CIA agents back in the day to prevent them from killing Osama bin Laden when they had the opportunity to take him out. This is revealed in a new documentary. Features interviews from CIA officials involved at the time. Then President Bill blocked the operation from moving forward by signing an executive order. So with agents risking jail, they were unable to do anything. The order placed the CIA in an impossible position by allowing agents to engage in lethal activity against the al-Qaeda leader, but only if the purpose was not to kill him. So that was revealed in a clip from Showtime's Longest War. He said, we're being asked to remove this threat to the United States essentially with one hand tied behind our backs, said former CIA station chief Bob Grenier. He was stationed in Islamabad, Pakistan at the time. He said, tribal contacts came to us and said, look, he's here. We know where he's at. We know when he leaves. We know when he comes. And he's got to go through this particular area. We can get him there. So what they proposed to do was bury a cache of explosives underneath the crossroads so that when his convoy came through, they could simply blow it up. And we said, absolutely not. We're not going to jail. The documentary director told the Daily Beast that at that point in time, the State Department and the president and other officials did not see bin Laden as a serious threat. Senior officials repeatedly ignored and even ridiculed anyone who said that bin Laden was a threat. Clinton in the past had discussed why he didn't go after bin Laden, and he gave other reasons. But he essentially said, well, I didn't want to endanger any of them innocent bystanders. So the documentary explores what could have happened had the administration taken action at the time. The threat was real. And, of course, Bush 43 ultimately took credit for having the World Trade Center taken down. I say took credit, you know what I mean. But yet it goes back to Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton could have stopped it, but he didn't. He was too busy gangbanging. Couldn't do it. Also, this news that now comes out. Corona news. Cuomo, who's running for president, said this is not the time for confusion or disagreement among governments. Local laws can't counteract state laws anyway. We can't have people lose their life because we acted imprudently. It turns out now that some people had actually been dying from this disease weeks ahead of what we were told. China had concealed this information. Italy is having a real problem with it. But the reason we probably haven't had as big a problem here in the United States is because our president did a fabulous job. Our president stepped up and said, no more travel from China. That's it. He just shut it down cold. Made all the difference in the world. And now he has shut down immigration completely. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I'm pretty stoked. I would personally like to see a 5-year moratorium on immigration. That's what I'd like to see. Alice liked my comment, Mr. Blue Dress. Well, I don't know if you saw that picture of Jeffrey Epstein's island that had Bill Clinton in a nice dress. Yeah, hanging up down there. Hello, Ann. Ann is a fellow activist. Thank you so much, Ann, for everything you do. Ray Smith, glad to have you in there. Dave Dudley, glad to have you in there. I think, Dave, aren't you like a recording artist in country music? I think so. Brandon suggested we should just go over there and drop the mother of all bombs on them. I know it's overkill, but that'd be the last time that any of them claim close to our Navy. So... Oh, and Brandon wanted to be sure that I asked the governor about our Alamo. I doubt if the governor will be taking any questions, but if I get a chance, I'm going to be asking about it. But also, Brandon, you know that the governor is all in favor of tearing down the cenotaph, because if he wasn't, he'd have been out there demanding that George P. Bush be recalled. He'd be calling him out for what he is. So... That is the case. All right, now I'm going to hit another break, and hopefully I'll be able to get the commercials this time, because you guys didn't hear the commercials last time. You got to go straight through, no commercials. But I need to get a drink. So let's see if we can get some now. I'll be right back on Right Side of the Mic.
Join us in the chat on YouTube and Facebook.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
I'm Joe Dana. As your candidate for Harris County Sheriff, I bring 25 years experience in law enforcement. As a conservative, I am committed to lead and manage the office with integrity, transparency, and accountability. I will preserve and protect the Constitution and the laws of Texas. It's time to restore trust in the Sheriff's Office. Please follow our campaign at danaforsheriff.com. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raul Reyes, and I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 23. I am a Trump Republican. I'm from the great city of Del Rio, Texas, born and raised on the border. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, formerly a vice president of a junior college in Uvalde, Texas. I am a Trump supporter. I believe in America, and we need to put America in District 23 first. We need to secure the border, folks. We have illegal mass migration, and it has to stop. I'm pro-life, and I'm going to defend your religious freedom all the way through my tenure in Congress. I'm for the Second Amendment. No more infringements on our rights to defend ourselves in this great country. And I support our veterans. Being a veteran myself, I fully understand the issues and the problems that we have with the VA medical care system. I'm here to change that. With your support, we can get the care that our veterans need. God bless Texas and God bless America. I'm Raul Reyes, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Raul Reyes for Congress Committee.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
Joe Biden promised Ukraine $1 billion if they fired the prosecutor investigating his son's company.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
But when President Trump asks Ukraine to investigate corruption, the Democrats want to impeach him, and their media lapdogs fall in line. They lost the election. Now they want to steal this one.
Hi, James
Don't let
Green
them.
calling back.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Doc says all the best words start with P. Prudence is a good word. Airlines will always say, put your own mask on first, then help your loved ones. Prudence means making sure that your family food supply is secure. Most stores have at best a 72-hour supply of food, and if something goes wrong, resupply will not happen quickly. You should have at least a 90-day supply of your favorites because it will allow you to weather the worst crisis and make plans for the future. The answer is newmanna.com. NUMANNA. New Manna is not just food storage, but really tasty food that you will enjoy eating. New Manna food is designed to last for 25 years, but many people enjoy it several times a week. Now is the time to lay in a supply of tasty New Manna food for your family. Be prepared and know your family is safe. Go to newmanna.com right now for fast delivery. That's newmanna.com.
Like the sounds of cannons on the horizon, please return with me to the Amazing Doc Green Show, because I like things that go kaboom.
Somebody's sending me a UPS envelope or something to send me the title. Great. Thank you. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate it. We're back. Yes, indeed, we are back. So, did you guys get your government check yet? I didn't get one. And I don't know if I'm going to get one, but I've been checking. Even though I filed my income taxes a month early, I'm one of those guys that does not get an income tax refund. I usually have to write them a check. So, consequently, I did not get anything. I did not get a government check just yet. My wife didn't get one, and my retired father-in-law, who lives with us, did not get one. So I don't know what's happening with that. I do have a couple of friends that have gotten theirs, and one of them, of course, used it to buy a new gun and some ammo. I thought that was pretty auspicious of him, and I was glad to see that. And let's see. Yeah, there we are. Now we're back on. We're back live. I would like to invite all of you to go to libertyrush.com, libertyrush.com, and establish a new account there. all things continuing to go on, this is our answer to Facebook. And we're trying to get it set up so we can do live broadcast over there on LibertyRush.com. So I'd ask all of you to do that. Here's the thing, I've got 2 different accounts. One of my accounts, I've got 5,000 friends. The other one, I've got a hair under like 4,995 or something like that. So we'll just call it, between those 2 accounts, I got 10,000 friends. But when I make a post on Facebook, typically less than 50 people see it because that's the way Facebook is. So we've created this new Liberty Rush platform, LibertyRush.com, because we want to have something that is going to not censor the conservative Christian viewpoint. So you can go to LibertyRush.com. You can set up an account. It's free. And check us out over there. And I'm just doing everything I can to support that channel. And also, if you haven't done it already, you guys need to go to New Manna Foods. New Manna, Numanna, and place your orders. They're running a little behind right now. But I have it on good authority that there are going to be some food shortages coming up here, and you guys need to have plenty of food. You need to have at least a 90-day supply of food. Speaking of which, Melody said, I'm delivering food on the road, just trying to breathe. I have about a moment between stops, and there's lots of crazy people out here. So, but I won't be able to listen until after 2. God bless you, Melody. I appreciate everything that you are doing. And Charisma, she's sending me a medal. Hey, Don't Move the Cenotaph medal. And I'll be wearing that medal on Saturday when you come at 3 o'clock at the Alamo. And we're going to have some music. We're going to have some music at the Alamo. So I'm taking my guitar. I think my bass player is going to make the trip. I'm trying to find a drummer in San Antonio. I need a drummer in San Antonio because carrying drums takes up a lot of space, and my van's already full. Brandon said he got his check. All right. So I'm glad to see some of you guys are getting your checks out there. I'm counting on mine to pay the rent, quite frankly. So if I get that check, I'll be very, very happy about that. And Sunday, we're going to do a live stream with the Green Brothers Band. We've been asked to do that for Women of Rock, I think is the name of it. And so we're going to do that live stream on Sunday. We're going to feature the lovely and talented Lenita Edison. And you guys don't want to miss that. She'll be singing most of those tunes on Sunday. We're going to do it live from our rehearsal studio. And I'm going to post a link in here for you. For those of you that can, just go to the web and do a site, go to YouTube and do a search for Green Brothers Band. Green Brothers Band. And I'm trying to get, and yeah, I need you to log in using your Gmail address. But I'm trying to get you guys to log in over there on the Green Brothers Band channel and give us a like, subscribe to the channel. But also I've got this video, and it's called 1A Green Brothers Band Short Demo. And I need some more likes on that thing. I need more likes. And I need comments. When you do it, when you leave a comment, it really affects the visibility. And so I'm going to post that here in the chat room for you guys. But for the rest of you guys that haven't done it, please go to YouTube, log in with your Gmail, and that way you can comment on videos. You can also subscribe to the Doc Green channel while you're at it. But go to the Green Brothers channel, subscribe to it, and then find that video, 1A short demo, and leave a comment. A nice comment would be good. But if you think we suck, you can go ahead and put that down there too, okay? I don't care. So far, everybody seems to think it sounds pretty good. And there's a rumor going around that somebody is going to pay for us to play at the Republican Party convention here in Houston. So, well, I'll let you know when that happens, if that actually gets booked. But they did call me the other day, told me that that's what they wanted to do. So, like to have all of you do that. Hello, Pepe out there in Vegas. Pepe is a bass player, you know. Pepe, go there and check it out, because there's some pretty fine bass playing going on right there. And check it out. Give me a like. Give me a comment. Danny Ferris. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Danny is publicizing our Monday rally here in Houston at the Eleanor Tinsley Park at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, Eleanor Tinsley Park. We're going to sit up and have a nice rally down there. We're going to bring the big PA and just enjoy ourselves. I don't anticipate that we'll be wearing any masks. So, come at your own risk. If you feel like you have an immune system that might be compromised, do not come down there. Stay home, be safe. But if you're like me, you eat well, you take good vitamins, you drink a little tonic water every day so that you got that quinine in your system, because that will prevent you from getting this thing. And you're taking vitamin C. Greg Anderson, good to see you, buddy. If you're taking vitamin C, if you're eating 2 Brazil nuts every day to get that selenium, because 2 Brazil nuts gives you enough selenium in your system, or you can just go to Infowars.com and buy selenium, which is what I do. So you're getting your selenium every day. You got nothing to worry about. I also do spirulina. I do a spirulina drink at least once a day because it just makes me feel good. And it's also a preventative for the virus. And the virus does not do well if it's hot. Above 80 degrees, this virus dies a very quick death. So it'll probably be warm out there on Monday, but we'd like to have all of you out there Monday in the park. Once again, how many of you guys in the chat room are going to be joining us on Monday in Eleanor Tinsley Park? And how many of you are going to join us on Saturday at the Alamo? Because you can do both. You don't have to choose. You can do both. We'd love to have you. So let's see if I got this. Senator Ted Cruz, he's one of 2 conservative senators in Washington, D.C. That would be Rand Paul, would be the other one. Mike Lee used to be a conservative, but I don't trust Mike Lee anymore. I believe he has been compromised. But Senator Ted Cruz tore Pelosi and Schumer a new butthole for the games they've been playing with the much-needed relief to small business and people. And you guys, I think I played it for you. If not, I'm going to play it for you again. Let me see if I can get this up. I got to find it first. And there it is. Nancy Pelosi.
We turn now to that $350 billion fund to help.
We're going to play this for you. And I'm going to give you video on it as well. There we are.
We turn now to that $350 billion fund to help small businesses and its workers get through the shutdown.
It will be up to Congress to restock it.
But Democrats blocking that move this morning.
They asked for $250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
Thousands have been forced to wait for hours at food banks all across the country.
This is chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here. We just got to restock the ice cream.
You don't want.
She's showing off her $25,000 Sub-Zero refrigerator. It's the most expensive refrigerator money can buy.
Eat up everything all at one time.
I can't do it much longer. I'm trying so hard.
So we say enjoying.
Having to admit that, we're starving, and
I like it better than anything else.
Taping this segment, there are 22 million people out.
This specific program is about stopping job losses today.
This is hurting people bad.
Other people in our family look for some other flavors, but
right now it's survival mode. You don't know where that next something else going to come from.
I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
Let them eat ice cream. Nancy Antoinette. Yes. Paid for by Donald J. Trump for president. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime that knows how to run a campaign. Republicans have run bad campaigns for decades. In fact, my entire life. They have refused to call the Democrats out for who they are. But there we have it. I just thought that was fabulous. So anyway, Ted Cruz said the Democrats refused to pass a clean bill to simply add funds to the payroll protection plan, and instead have demanded all sorts of other worthless stuff be added in there. Like, for instance, they want to put in there a new restrictive law on your guns that would be completely unconstitutional and would make almost all guns illegal. They wanted to put that in there. They wanted to put in $5 billion to send to Iran. So what was a $300 billion bill is now a $450 billion bill. And while they were fiddling around and Nancy Pelosi showing you her expensive custom ice cream collection in her $25,000 freezer, the Paycheck Protection Plan ran out of money. So, proves that they don't really care. Meanwhile, Senator Ted Cruz was asked about the purported deal with the Dems. He said, you know what kind of games the Democrats are playing on this? This is ridiculous. I mean, who saw this on the CARES Act? We had bipartisan agreement on the CARES Act, and then at the last minute, Nancy Pelosi parachutes in, blew it up, and delayed it by another 4 days when people were desperate. I'm not going to say I'm desperate, folks, but I'm desperate. Yeah, look, we're living hand to mouth over here. And thank all of you guys that actually provide money for this show. And God bless my advertisers that write the check, because had it not been for them, ladies and gentlemen, I would have been booted out of my house last month. So anyway, so we now have the Paycheck Protection Plan, which has proven immensely popular. It's the difference between life and death for millions of small businesses, country, restaurants, bars, movie theaters, nail salons, hair salons. Democrats have allowed the program to expire. They just held it hostage, and they're continuing to do so. And then he said, my main point, my message to Chuck Schumer and Nancy Boob Job Pelosi. Oh, did you guys know she got a boob job? Yeah, she did. Stop screwing around with these small businesses and people's livelihoods because of the partisan games they are playing, and that has very real consequences. It is serious stuff. Ainsley Earhart said, we're getting word that Chuck Schumer is now saying that there is a deal. It's phase 3.5. Now, people like AOC, remember Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is much cuter and smarter than our county judge, Lena Hidalgo. That's what I said. She is cuter and smarter than our county judge, Lena Hidalgo, that 28-year-old foreigner that somehow managed to become our county judge. I meant the part about smarter. Anyway, you know the games the Democrats are playing on this. This is serious stuff, guys. It's not getting taken care of because they don't care. To them, it's a game. This is all about getting Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with the real world. I personally am very exercised about it, which is why we're going to have the rally at the Alamo on Saturday, where we're primarily addressing the fact that we don't want anything else done to the Alamo. We want it back to what it's supposed to be. Somebody posted a meme, Charisma Villarreal. She said she's got a picture of little Georgie Peepee. He said, what, human remains found at the Alamo? It's okay. We'll just reimagine them away. Yeah, really, he's kind of like that. What they want to do is every time they dig up a body over there at the Alamo, they want to put it on a shelf in a warehouse and tag it, bag it and tag it. That's what they want to do. Completely unacceptable. Steve Toth wrote a letter to our illustrious governor. I'm going to see if I can get this big enough where I can read it. It says, last week, you invited me to submit questions for your conference call with members of the Texas Ledge and the Congress. I chose the most pressing concern that my constituents had. And this computer is slow. We don't feel that a phased approach is going to open up the economy quickly enough. Will you allow healthy people to go back to work immediately while allowing the medically fragile to stay home? Unfortunately, your schedule prevented you from answering my questions. And that's why I'm respectively asking you to address that question. Consider that Montgomery County has so far experienced 7 deaths. 5 of the 7 resided at a single senior living apartment complex in my district, and one of the deceased was someone who died outside of Texas, leaving only 1 COVID-19 death outside of that senior living facility. And yet for this, we've shut down Montgomery County. We've shut down Texas. According to the Health and Human Services Commission of Texas, approximately 33% of the 500 deaths in Texas were reported from individuals that were living in nursing homes. Now, they don't track unregulated senior living facilities, so it's more likely detailed reporting will reveal the true percentage of deaths connected to these. This is amazing to me, guys. He said, even worse, our country has significantly more suicides taking place than COVID-19 deaths. In my research, and the link is provided below, on job loss and suicide rates, I discovered that in the modern era, for every 1% increase in unemployment, there is also a 1% increase in suicides. Still more grim news hit us yesterday, with oil prices dropping below $0 in a negative territory as demand has completely evaporated because no one's driving to work anymore. As you know, in House District 15, the greater Houston region, the oil and gas industry helps many of my constituents just put food on the table. So our question has now become a request. My constituents have followed all of your orders to socially distance, but now that supply chains have been established and we have supplies and capacity, why can't we truly reopen Texas? With a death rate from COVID-19 this low, how can we not? So, thank you, Steve Toth. I appreciate it very much. That was just nothing short of excellent. I understand that Steve is going to be at the Alamo on Saturday. I don't know if he's speaking, but I understand he's going to be there. And so we're very happy about that. Let's see if I can get to this on my Snaileron processor here. It takes so long for it to make a change. It's unbelievable. All right, let's see. Where was it? I get a lot of letters, guys, but I appreciate them all. Thank you very much. I'm trying to find one in particular, if I can. All right, I'm gonna have to look for it. I'll look for it on the break because I don't know where it is. So I don't know what you guys think about this, but I think it's about time that we do something about it. Now, America's debt is rapidly racing toward $25 trillion, but I'm not really that worried about it. And you probably think, why, are you nuts? No, because I know there's something else going on here that you may not be aware of. And so I'm just asking you guys to be patient, trust the plan, pray for Donald Trump. Pray for Donald Trump. He deserves your support. And he does have a plan, and you can trust the plan. So fear not. Don't fear the reaper. You can trust the plan, guys. We just have to be patient until we can get this under control. But we can get it under control. Let's see here. I wanted to see that, and just an incredible amount of stuff here. I think this might be it. Nope, that's not it either. That is not it either. All right, too much stuff. All right, we're going to hit a break. We're going to hit the break, and I'll be right back. I got a couple of goodies for you when we come back. So right after this. Hello, commercials. And I got nothing. All right. apparently we're having a time lag with communications with Eagle Point, Oregon today, so I'm just gonna have to move on to the next story, and we may not get that back. I can't believe this. They arrested a mother and handcuffed her. You know why? She was letting her kids play in the park. All because of the lies being told to you by the Centers for Disease Control. This is just mind-blowing to me. But why would cops arrest a woman in the park letting her kids play? And, of course, the reason for that is because of the shutdown. But it's a hoax. All right, we'll let Brandon talk for a minute here.
Hey, Doc, I just wanted to call and give you some good news and make the announcement on your show about the rally this weekend.
Yes.
We just got a call and got confirmation that Mr. Alan West will be there speaking at the event on Saturday.
Yes. I love Alan West. I don't know if you guys have ever heard him speak, but he is an excellent, very dynamic speaker. Former colonel in the Army, drummed out of the Army by Harrison J. Bonnell when he was president because he was interrogating a Muslim terrorist, and the guy wouldn't give up the goods, so he fired a .45 next to his ear. And after that, the guy got all excited and told him where everything was, and they probably saved 100 lives. And for this, he was kicked out of the Army. So I personally support him, Alan West, for chairman of the Republican Party of Texas. I think it'd be great.
Absolutely. He's an impeccable human being and conservative, and we've been trying to see if he would speak at this rally for a while now, and I just got the phone call literally about 30 minutes ago, and they said that he will be attending, and so he will speak as well. So we thought maybe it would be best to go ahead and announce it on your show first, and then we're going to put it out on our page that he's going to be there.
Well, there you have it, guys. It's worth coming to the rally simply to hear Alan West speak. If you've never gotten to hear him speak, you need to. I've been fortunate enough to hear him speak on several occasions, and I've never been disappointed. And I want you to know, Alan West is a fine Christian man, and I have ultimate respect for this guy.
Yes, he is definitely a good guy, and we need that kind of leadership here in Texas for sure.
So, well, that will be fun. Well, you've got a pretty good long list of speakers. Do you happen to have that in front of you?
I've got it memorized because I deal with it day in and day out.
Give us the list. Who's coming?
Okay, for our speakers, we've got. I'll start off with our everyday average Texans and then lead up to some of our higher profile ones. But we've got David Ahmed, who is one of the leaders of Open Carry Texas. He will be speaking at this rally because Open Carry Texas is also helping us co-host this event. Richard Briscoe, who is the legislative arm of the Open Carry Texas, but he will also be speaking. We have our Vice President, Lamar Henry, who will be speaking. Lamar has been in attendance to every single Alamo meeting since the beginning of our fight 4 years ago. And we also have our Houston director, Randy Bill, who's a good friend of yours, Doc. Mm-hmm. He will be speaking. And then we move on into some of the others. We have Dr. Alma Arnando Lynch.
Oh, yes. I love Dr. Alma.
Yes, sir. Yeah, she ran for Congressional District 23. She will be speaking out there. As of yesterday, Tommy Attaway said that he wouldn't mind speaking about the Alamo out there. So we've added him onto the list of speakers. We've also got Dr. Tim Wesley, who, the best way I've always described it is he is a Southern preacher, and it's like hearing a Southern Baptist preacher preach from the pulpit, but the only difference is the sermon is about the Alamo.
Well, the regular listeners have heard him on this show. He's an excellent individual. I very much enjoy him.
Yes, he is a great guy to have around. And like I've always told everybody, we've been involved with this Alamo deal for 4 years, and I've heard a lot of speeches given about the Alamo and the Alamo Cenotaph. And his speech that he gave at the HDRC meeting almost brought tears to my eyes on how passionate he was about the Alamo and the Alamo Cinecap, and he brings the story to color, you know, and basically tells you the story where you envision it in your mind. And he's a great speaker to have out there. We've also got, let me see, I'm trying to go over all the ones. Of course, we just announced now that Alan West will be there speaking as well. We have, oh goodness, Doc, I got carried away and forgot some of the speakers that I have lined up on there. Well, goodness, let's just say we have about 2 or 3 others that will be out there speaking, and they're really good speakers as well. So I think we have a total of 11 speakers that will be speaking at the rally, and most of the speakers
and a good sound system.
Yes, and we want to thank. We can't say the business name; they've asked us to keep it quiet. But they saw our rally event that was going to happen on Saturday. They've been affected by this COVID-19 shutdown, and so therefore they offered to come out and set up an absolutely wonderful sound system, a large, loud sound system for us for free. And of course, we're making a donation because we can't do business, so we can make a donation to their company. And so they will come out and do that. And then I think Mr. Doc Green is going to bring a roll of Hillary Clinton toilet paper. And This is Texas Freedom Force. We'll have a roll of John Wayne toilet paper, rough and tough. Don't take no crap off of anybody. This is just going to be just for fun. We'll sell tickets for $1 out there at the event. And the winners will be able to take home these little souvenir collectible toilet paper rolls for this, and all the proceeds will go to help with some of the equipment and stuff that was paid for, so that we could have this event. So,
well, for those of you that don't know the story, and apparently nobody does, so here's how it went. Back in the old days, the trading post at the fort, they got in this new paper supposed to replace corn cobs and leaves as a way to cleanse yourself after you've done your business. And of course they wanted to test it properly, so they decided to test it on the Indians first, since they were viewed at that time as second-class citizens. So they said, here, Chief, I want you to take this paper back to your tribe, and I want you guys to use it for free, and then come back and tell us what do you think of it, and what should we name this new product. And so anyway, he takes it, and he comes back in a couple of weeks, and he said, well, Chief, what should we call this product? He said, I think you should call this product John Wayne. He said, John Wayne? He said, why? He said, because John Wayne never took any crap off the Indians, and neither does this toilet paper. So it was a poor quality product. I tell you, it's like when I was in the military, we said that all of our toilet paper was made with grit and wax paper for the way that it worked. But hey, we've got it right here. Hillary and John Wayne toilet paper, and look, it's a little worrisome because this says made in China on it. We're a little worried about that, but nonetheless, we're going to raffle those off. All proceeds are going to go to This Is Texas Freedom Force, and I want you guys to come out and get in on it.
And also, I remembered the other speakers, Weston Martinez, our former railroad commissioner.
Oh yeah, we love Weston.
Yes, Weston's going to be one of our speakers. We have Michelle Adams. I don't know if some of you guys might know who she is. She's a United Daughters of Confederacy member, a daughter of the Republic of Texas, and a history major as well, Texas history major for that matter.
Okay.
She will be out there speaking, and so it'll be nice to have her and listen to her. This woman's very, very passionate about the Alamo, and so it'd be great to hear her. And then, of course, Matt Pena, who ran against George P. Bush for the PLO.
I voted for him.
I did too.
He was the Libertarian. Once again, I told you this next election, you can vote for the Libertarian for general land office.
Yeah, we've got to get Bush out of office. I mean, this is just ridiculous. He doesn't belong here. We need to send him back to Florida where he belongs.
And you guys see me holding up that coin there. That's the coin that I'm going to give to Brandon when I get there for all the hard work you do, sir.
Oh, Doc, I'll buy that coin off of you. I just like to have it put up in my TITFF office because I've got some coins from the Alamo and then, of course, Republic of Texas dollars and all. that are up there. So to have that penny that you have would be an absolute wonderful addition to that. And I thank you so much, Doc, for hooking me up with that.
1 solid ounce of real Texas copper, and then on the back, it says honest money, honest courts, and honest governments. So
absolutely,
we love that.
You're gonna have to buy me a case to put it in now.
Well, it's a beauty, and I'm certainly going to give you that. It says one nation under one God, Republic of Texas. Got the Texas star right there. So anyway,
absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Doc. I appreciate that.
So I'll bring you one of those. So anyway, it's going to be a good time. 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
Yes, right there at the Alamo Cenotaph, and I know Doc has offered to have his band come out and play. We're still trying to find him a drummer, so if you guys find one, get in touch with Doc or get in touch with me so that they can kind of open up and close the event for us. So,
yeah, we want to come out and rock a little bit for Texas, have a little fun, so some good classic rock, country music. We'll play a selection of tunes, and you guys can enjoy it. You can dance if you want to, but we want you to come out, clap hands, and enjoy it. We're talking about serious stuff, but that doesn't mean we can't have a good time.
As one of our supporters on the page put it, whenever they heard that we're looking for the drummer for you guys to play, they said, this is absolutely wonderful. We'll be making history while we were talking about history, because very few people have the opportunity to go out and play in front of the Alamo. And if they get their way with this Reimagine the Alamo project, there's probably not going to be another opportunity to do this. So,
well, you're right. And my band, I have played music there 3 separate occasions, twice in the gazebo, and once, and then once actually on the street in front of the Alamo. And so it's a wonderful thing to get to do that. So this will kind of be like the last time I'll probably ever get to do it, to play music at the Alamo. But we want to do this. We want to have a good time, and we want to get you involved. And once again, guys, if 50 of us show up, it's not going to be any fun. But if a couple of hundred of us show up, nobody arrests a battalion. So show up, stand up for what's right. Let's send a message. And the press is going to be there. They are going to be there.
Yes, I've gotten confirmation from all the local media that says that they're going to send at least a camera crew out. Some will probably send a reporter, and then if you guys can help us out, we've been trying to reach out to Fox News as well as the liberal news media, CNN and MSNBC, and try to get them out there, because the whole point of this rally is to blow this situation up with the Alamo so big that Governor Abbott is forced to come out and make a stance saying that he's either going to stop it or he is for moving the Alamo Cenotaph, because Texans deserve to know where he stands. And up to this date, he has not told the people of Texas where he stands on this issue.
That's right. So we need to get him on the record.
Yes.
So I'm counting on you guys.
Well, I appreciate you giving me some time here, Doc. I know you got more important things to do, so I'll let you get back to it.
Hardly. No, there's nothing more important than the Alamo Cenotaph. And you guys this is Texas Freedom Force. You should go there, become a member. The Cenotaph would have been long gone were it not for these guys. So it's critically important you do that. And on that word, I am going to hit this final break, and we'll be right back on right side of the mic. So stick around, guys.
Join us in the chat on YouTube and Facebook.
I'm Joe Dana. As your candidate for Harris County Sheriff, I bring 25 years experience in law enforcement. As a conservative, I am committed to lead and manage the office with integrity, transparency, and accountability. I will preserve and protect the Constitution and the laws of Texas. It's time to restore trust in the Sheriff's Office. Please follow our campaign at danaforsheriff.com. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raul Reyes, and I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 23. I am a Trump Republican. I'm from the great city of Del Rio, Texas, born and raised on the border. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, formerly a vice president of a junior college in Uvalde, Texas. I am a Trump supporter. I believe in America, and we need to put America in District 23 first. We need to secure the border, folks. We have illegal mass migration, and it has to stop. I'm pro-life, and I'm going to defend your religious freedom all the way through my tenure in Congress. I'm for the Second Amendment. No more infringements on our rights to defend ourselves in this great country. And I support our veterans. Being a veteran myself, I fully understand the issues and the problems that we have with the VA medical care system. I'm here to change that. With your support, we can get the care that our veterans need. God bless Texas and God bless America.
I'm Raul Reyes, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Raul Reyes for Congress Committee.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
Joe Biden promised Ukraine $1 billion if they fired the prosecutor investigating his son's company.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
But when President Trump asks Ukraine to investigate corruption, the Democrats want to impeach him, and their media lapdogs fall in line. They lost the election. Now they want to steal this one. Don't let them.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Doc says all the best words start with P. Prudence is a good word. Airlines will always say, put your own mask on first, then help your loved ones. Prudence means making sure that your family food supply is secure. Most stores have at best a 72-hour supply of food, and if something goes wrong, resupply will not happen quickly. You should have at least a 90-day supply of your favorites because it will allow you to weather the worst crisis and make plans for the future. The answer is newmanna.com. N-U-M-A-N-N-A. New Manna is not just food storage for really tasty food that you will enjoy eating. New Manna food is designed to last for 25 years, but many people enjoy it several times a week. Now is the time to lay in a supply of tasty New Manna food for your family. Be prepared and know your family is safe. Go to newmanna.com right now for fast delivery. That's newmanna.com.
Like the sounds of cannons on the horizon, please return with me to the Amazing Doc Green Show, because I like things that go kaboom.
Yeah, we're back. And now this.
I really don't understand why everybody isn't following the same rules right now. They're very clear, so let's take a minute and let's go over them again. First, you must not leave the house for any reason, unless of course you have a reason, and then you may leave the house. All stores are closed except those that are open, and all stores must close unless of course they need to stay open. This virus is deadly, but don't be afraid of it. It can only kill people who are vulnerable and also those who are not vulnerable. We should stay locked down until the virus stops infecting people. And it will only stop infecting people if enough of us get infected that we build immunity. So it is very important that we get infected and also do not get infected. You should not go to the doctor's office or the hospital unless you have to go there. Unless, of course, you are too sick to go there. This virus has no effect on children except for those children in which it affects. The virus remains active on different surfaces for 2 hours or 4 hours or 6 hours, but in most cases it's days and not hours, and it needs a damp environment or a cold environment that is warm and dry in the air. Unless the air is plastic. Schools are closed, so you need to homeschool your children unless you can send them to school because you are not home. If you are at home, you can school your children using various portals and online classrooms unless you have poor internet, more than one child, only one computer, or you are working from home. Baking cakes can be considered math, science, or art. If you are home educating, you can include household chores within their education curriculum. And if you are home educating, you may start drinking at approximately 10 a.m. every day. If you are not home educating children, you may also start drinking at approximately 10 a.m. Masks are useless at protecting you against the virus, but you still need to wear one because it can save lives. And in some cases, it may even be mandatory, but also maybe not. You must not go to work, but you can get another job, at which point you may go to work. Stay home. I don't know how many more celebrities we need to have tell you how important it is to go outside and take care of your mental health. There is no shortage of groceries in the supermarket. There are simply many things missing. You don't need to go buy a bunch of toilet paper, but you should buy some in case you need it. If you are sick, you may go out once you are better, but those in your household, they cannot go out once you are better unless, of course, they need to go out. Animals are not affected by the virus, except for that cat that tested positive in Belgium in February, plus a couple tigers. The number of corona-related deaths will be announced daily, but we don't know how many people are infected because we were only testing those who are almost dead to determine if that's what they will die of. The people who die of corona who are not counted won't or will be counted, but maybe not. To help protect yourself during these times, you should be eating well and exercising, but exercising only eating what you have at home to avoid going to the stores unless you need toilet paper or a fence panel. It's important to get fresh air, but don't go to parks, but do go walk in other places. Just don't sit down unless you are old or pregnant. But if you do sit down, don't sit for too long, unless you are old and you are pregnant, in which case you need to sit down. But if you do sit down, don't eat unless you've had a long walk, which you are allowed to do if you are old or pregnant, except for times in which you aren't. And finally, no businesses will go down due to coronavirus, except those businesses that go down due to COVID-19. I hope this cleared up any questions about what we should and should not be doing during this time. Please educate your friends and family with this information so we can remove any and all confusion surrounding this time. Thank you.
And that should have cleared everything up for you, don't you think? I think it really solved the problem, me personally. So, in any case, once again, we are going to host a Reopen Houston rally, Eleanor Tinsley Park, on Monday at 11 a.m. And let me see, if Saturday's 25th, Sunday be the 26th, that'd be Monday the 27th. So you can do that. And let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, somebody said, well, Emilio will be there. The Popo will probably be there, too. Yeah, but nobody arrested a battalion. Don't forget that. Meanwhile, Houston Police Officers Union said it's come to our attention that our foreign-born county judge, Lena Hidalgo, has issued an order this afternoon making it mandatory for anyone over the age of 10 to wear a mask in public. I want to be very clear. Houston Police Officers Union believes everyone should be wearing a mask in public to protect themselves from the virus, and we're encouraging all of our officers to wear a mask. However, we draw the line at the draconian measures that she has decided to engage in. Our officers work every single day to bridge the gap in our community and earn their trust. We will not stand idly by and allow Hidalgo to tear that bridge down with her horrific leadership and echo chamber decision-making. First of all, let me just say this defensively to Hidalgo. She's very young. She's 28 years old. She's not particularly intelligent. Give the girl a break, okay? She's a post turtle. She doesn't know how she got elected. She wasn't prepared for the job. She has no clue. So I'm just telling you that these things cut this woman some slack. Anyway, they said the Houston Police Officers Union has made contact with the Attorney General's office seeking an opinion on the legality of imposing a penalty or a fine for anyone not wearing a mask in public. And while we wait for that opinion, we're informing our officers that they have discretion in matters such as these. It is clear the so-called leader of Harris County lacks any critical thinking skills, but let me assure the public our officers do. So, wait a minute. Let me read that sentence again. It is clear the so-called leader of Harris County lacks any critical thinking skills, but let me assure the public our officers do. Our officers lack any critical thinking skills? I don't know. That's the way the sentence reads. He said, the last thing any of us need to do is to kick our community while they're down. Houston police officers are already stretched a little thin during this pandemic. Violent crime is way up this year. Murders are up by 35%. Thank you, Sylvester Thundercat Turner. Property crime is up by 30%. And HPD officers are staffing testing centers across the city. We do not have time to be pawns in Lina Hidalgo's game of attempting to control the actions of law-abiding, tax-paying individuals in our community, especially with this idiotic order. It is impossibly, it's unconstitutional. Let me assure the community our officers will continue to serve the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic, risking our lives and our health to protect you, and will continue to serve with honor and respect our community, despite Lina Hidalgo's best efforts to destroy that respect. Joe Grimaldi, HPOU. Oh, my goodness. And see, now you guys thought I was just being mean. Frank said discretion equals selective enforcement / being capricious. Oh, that's probably true. But, I think Art Acevedo likes me. Every time he sees me, he smiles big and waves. I don't know. But I think he likes me. I don't know. We'll see. I know that when I needed to get my gun back, he was very happy to give it to me. But I think Mike Knox had probably more to do with that than anyone. So let's see. What else do we have here? To all media outlets. Harris County Deputies Association, Lodge 39, has been made aware of the order issued by County Judge Lina Hidalgo making it mandatory for citizens to wear masks or coverings in public. Our issue with this order is, who's going to enforce this? Harris County Sheriff's Office is already short-staffed. We're stretched thin during this pandemic due to the understaffing policies of the county. The citizens of Harris County are working very hard together through this pandemic, and we do not need the added stress and fear of getting a fine or getting arrested for failing to wear a face mask that they may not have. And, of course, as you heard the earlier opening video that I put out, we happen to know that face masks will prevent you from getting the disease unless it don't, and it will prevent you from spreading the disease unless it does. So there you go. This policy will only serve to erode the trust between the sheriff's deputies and the citizens of this county, because an order like that would disproportionately affect those with the least means and put them in direct contact with law enforcement officers. Signed, David Cuevas, Harris County Sheriff's Deputies Association. Well, I want to thank Tex Christopher for sending those two things to me, sending me those two items. So there you have it. But I'm looking to see how many people are going to come out there, and it looks like Jimmy Barrett, Travis Leslie, Mark Gollaby, Randy Beal, Colette Rogers, Colette actually, and Fred Flickinger, and Tom Zakes, and Maria Calloway, and Danny Ferris and Tex Christopher are all in favor of the event. So anyway, Well, Colette says, no, I got to go back to work on Monday. I can't make it. But Travis Leslie says, I'm there. I hope you spread the word. Mark says, I'm there. And Mark said, I went to the demonstration to get my fair share of abuse. Lena, you can't always get what you want. I want to go to the demonstration. Danny said, yeah, on Monday I would come. Ken Webster and Sam Malone, could you all put out the word? And Sky Mike Houston, can you tell a few folks? And Jimmy Barrett, tell a few folks. And Danny Ferris, I'd be happy to, said Jimmy Barrett. Jackie Bally, will you tell the folks at KSEV? Angela Box, you were asking for it. Well, here it is. And Fred Flickinger said, I'd definitely be there, but I have to work that day. Oh, come on, Fred, take off. So, all right, we're going to see. This looks like it's going to be a really fun rally in Houston on Monday. So, and there's no reason for you not to do both. There's no reason for you not to come out and see me Saturday at the Alamo, which is going to be on the 25th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I mean, I'm the least of the people that are going to be there. There are people there that I'm not even fit to tie their shoes. So come on out and be there to hear some of these other great speakers speak. I'm just going to go there and have a little fun with you guys and maybe bring my guitar and play a little music for you. But that's why I'm going. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got our work cut out for us. Once again, I'm asking all of you to please find the Green Brothers Band channel on YouTube. Go there, subscribe to the channel, and then find the 1A video, the 1A video demo. It's 2 minutes long. I need you to not just give me a thumbs up. I need that. But I need you to make a nice comment. Unless, of course, you think it sucks, and in which case, then you can comment on it any way that you would like to. But I need that. It makes a difference, and I'm counting on you to do it.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. I am here to speak on the virus and your decision on how to combat it. Did not you and
This is Bob's your uncle, a.k.a. Bob Brewer, speaking.
Everyone in America in a similar position swear an oath to protect and defend our fourth law, our Constitution, that is found on page 25 of the U.S. Code in the law library in the basement of the Smith County Courthouse across the street. Doesn't page 1 of that code, the first page in like 800,000 pages of law, present the reason that the Constitution was written? Aren't those reasons the unalienable rights that our Creator equally endowed to us? Those of life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. Aren't those rights secured by governments?
And on that note, guys, I got to get out of here. That is the end of the show. God willing, see you here tomorrow. Same doc time, same doc channel.